talking to Lyndall Mitchell, who is one of our original balance coaches life coaches, and also has the Aurora Spa in Melbourne. And Lyndall, you know, from our original chat, we sat down and we were talking about how to sort of make improvements in our life and find more balance, and this is what it's all about. The thing that you did was you started talking about the wheel of balance and how we can make improvements in our life. And what we found out was through our followers is that really struck a nerve with women, that they think, yes, we definitely need to look at our lives and change some things, and whether it's small changes, big changes, but we needed to really improve our lives to find more balance. There was something you talked about, the wheel of balance, and what you've done with creating this program that we're about to do now, which is change your world, is to really make some positive changes. And I just want to talk to you about how this program is going to help us do that, because I know that our followers and even myself is looking at all this, is we actually need to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's great that so many people love the Wheel of Balance and got so much out of that. And this is really an extension on it. It's an opportunity to take it a step further. I'm going, if you want to make some change in your life, let's make it for the long term. Yeah. It's small steps in building great foundations to help move you forward.
And the thing about it is, you've got to be mindful. I mean, we all live really busy lives and we just get on with what we've got to do. We've sort of got our tasks for the day, but how often do we actually stop and think about what makes us happy and what doesn't make us happy? I mean, that's such a rare thing.
Absolutely. So this is the great thing about the program, is you can fit it into your life, where you can turn your phone off for 15 minutes and do the worksheet, listen to the videos, and then come back to it another day. So it's very achievable to get it into your life in a day-to-day routine.
And where do you start with people? How do you start? I mean, we're all sort of a blank canvas, I think, when it comes to trying to make improvements. You think, oh, I'm unhappy with this part of my life, or what makes me unhappy? How do you start? I mean, you've started, one of the first things you talk about is values, but you actually talk about foundations, don't you?
So I see the values as, you know, creating a foundation. It's like when you're building a house. If you haven't got strong foundations, then you're not really building a very strong house. So we want to start from the bottom and start looking at your values and what brings you great meaning and purpose to your life. Ultimately, that's going to help create your happiest life. So once we've ascertained those values, then we can look a little bit further into what your vision is for your life, and then life balance, and then chunking it down to your goals.
The thing about it is, I don't think we ever do this. Honestly, to take the time out, and this is the thing with balance, is it is about taking time out for ourselves and actually thinking about things that are really important. And I think this program's terrific, because even if you took, 5-10 minutes for yourself, these are all very doable. You've got worksheets, you sit there, you just have to turn the phone off, tell everyone to go away for 10-15 minutes. And really think about what's important to you. That's the only way you're going to make change, right?
That's right. Well, sometimes it's about putting yourself first.
Yeah.
So turning the phone off is the first part of that.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to have no distractions just to do this. And it can be 5 minutes to do a worksheet, or you can take 30 minutes. It's up to you. And you can schedule all at the same time, or do them over a week and do one every second night if you'd like to.
Yeah. I like it because you talk about values, and I looked at it and I thought, you've listed, there's 20-something plus values, and I think they all look like something that looks great. And then I looked at it and I thought, there's some things in there that I know I should be ticking, but I'm not. And I think it's really interesting just to really go over what's important and where you fit in with everybody else's life as well, because you say we're busy, we're working, we're mums, we're sisters, we're wives, partners. How do you actually find out what's important, truly important? And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people that are going to be doing this program who are going to be stumped that when it comes to finding 10 things that are really important to them and bearing it down, they're going to be stumped with it, because they're going to go, well, I've never thought about this before. How do I know what really clicks? Have you come across that?
Well, yes, absolutely. And that happens for a lot of people, but it's firstly making the time for it.
Yeah.
So often we're so busy in our 24/7 life. You can be accessible 24 hours a day if you choose to. So this is about stepping back, taking responsibility for us living a happy life and putting some foundations in place. So it's taking the time to go, okay, I'm going to allocate 5 minutes to that value sheet. I'm going to turn my phone off, have no distractions, and just sit with a cup of tea and do it. And sometimes when you clear the space, you can actually come up with the answer, because we all have the answers within us.
Yeah.
You know, I know that we all have the inner wisdom to know what is most important in our life. But it's scheduling the time, knowing that you're worthy of doing this and that you can create the purposeful, meaningful, happy life for yourself.
And also sustaining that. So you might identify there's some areas that you need to work on, but it's going, well, I don't want it to just happen for next week or the next month. I want to actually implement it for the rest of my life.
That's right. And that's, you know, that's what I'm incredibly passionate about, and it's why Aurora was started, to help partner with people for the long term. So it's all about sustainable change. So if someone comes in for a massage and then they want to come in every week, I will say no. That's not best. Come in once a month. You know, let's break it down into very small, achievable goals that we can make happen and integrate into our life.
That's the key word, achievable. And goal setting, I think, is really important too. Unless you can really identify what it is and make it quite specific, then it becomes sort of a bit wishy-washy and we never quite get there.
Yeah, well, the SMART goals are just a very easy way to keep it front of mind. And then, you know, I'd recommend you have a 3-month checkpoint where you go back, and setting up a reminder in your phone is a great way to do it. You go back just to make sure you're on target with where you're heading with your goals, and if there's anything that needs to be changed or moved, that's a great opportunity. Don't think once you've done it, it's set in stone forever. This is flexible, and this is something you can always go back to.
And this is the first masterclass. How many in the program, if you want to do the whole program?
There's 4 in the series.
Right.
And they all have a different essence or a different theme to them. So we've got How to Change Your World, Burden to Bliss.
Burden to Bliss, tell me about that.
Burden to Bliss is working on what our burdens are in life. So looking a little bit deeper at when we do put ourselves first. And what does that take? What sort of self-acceptance does that take, or self-work does that take to put ourselves first?
Okay.
So then we look at Chaos to Calm.
And the 4th one?
And the 4th one's great, Rituals for Busy People. We're all busy. So how do we do it? It's all about the juggle. It's all about making it as easy and effortless for you as possible.
But Rituals for Busy People, I think there's a natural pattern as you build on the masterclasses, because that's what you need at the end. Ascertaining what's going to make you happy, making those changes, and then it's remembering, isn't it? It's actually reminding yourself, I have to keep checking in.
Yeah, well, they're the triggers. So it's establishing your triggers for day to day. Whether it's when you're applying your hand cream, it's your trigger. What is it where I'm taking care of myself, that I'm on track for where I want to head in my life, to live my happiest life? I mean, that's what essentially all the masterclasses come back to, is you living your best life.
And how do you do it?
How do I do it?
Yeah. Because I mean, you're a wonderful life coach. You put it together, but you've done this work yourself. You've got to have been living through this and do it yourself. And do you have rituals and do you have reminders? Are you surrounded by all those things?
Absolutely. So I think every tool that we're using in these masterclasses, I use myself. But we have had them tried and tested over many, many years with many different clients as well. And I basically, yes, I do have my values. They're written in my diary. They're on my phone. I have my vision of where I'm heading. I have my vision board above my desk. It's a visual document. I relate to visual, so it's very relevant for me to have a vision board. I have my goals that I check in on, but I look at what creates balance for me in my life regularly. You know, I have young children. I have a business, so there's a little bit of juggling and planning's a big part of it. So, you know, if I want to make sure that I'm nourishing my body well and that I'm fit and strong and I'm a great role model for my kids and I'm a happy wife, not a nagging wife, all of those things, then that requires some planning and some purpose that's framed around that. So, you know, you can take that all the way down to what rituals do I do? Well, I have rituals in the morning and the evening that sort of frame my day. And I take responsibility to make sure that they're a part of my day-to-day living. So whether it's lemon and water on rising or a green smoothie in the morning to my sleep balm at night before I go to bed. They're 2 of my rituals that I can't live without.
That help you find balance. It's just creating a structure and implementing that structure in that crazy world that we all live.